Hello, I'm here at Canadian Toy Con with writer Darryl Joseph.
Yes, that's me.
You've got two first names.
I've got two first names. Yeah.
Right. Now, you are the creator or writer of Penny Steele.
Penny Steele. Yeah, I would say I'm definitely the writer. I call myself the co-creator. I came up with the concept and a big part of the idea around Penny Steele, but the character design, definitely I have to give credit to Sharon Gauthier, the artist, who makes Penny look amazing, really.
So what does Penny do? What does Penny do?
Penny, yeah, well, she's
just a girl. How can she be a superhero?
She is just a girl, actually, and that's exactly how we meet her in the first issue here, Penny Steele #1, the first mini issue. She's a girl who not a lot of people take seriously, and she fights for what she feels is right, even if it's something as small as quibbling over 2 cents.
2 cents, yes, I know. She's here arguing about pennies because the guy doesn't want to take the pennies.
Well, I mean, I think her point is a good one, is that, of course, here in Canada, we don't have pennies anymore, so we tend to round up or round down our totals. A little-known fact about pennies is that they are still legal tender.
Legal tender, so yeah.
I think they're still accepted, or they should still be accepted in transactions. I think you can use up to about 25 cents in pennies. I don't think anyone actually even uses them anymore. Who really cares? But
well, actually, I've got this.
Penny cares.
I've got this idea. Penny does care. Is like sell your books for like $4.99. Like what is this? $3.99.
$2.99.
$2.99.
$3.
No, go $2.99. Right. And then when they give you $3, you can hand them a penny back.
Penny back. You know, I've got a whole bunch of pennies at home.
Exactly, and it'll be like a novelty for people. They go, oh my gosh, I get a penny for Penny Steele.
You get 2 pennies. You get Penny Steele's 2 cents.
Penny Steele, right? Just saying. It's brilliant. I want a cut of that.
So yeah, Penny Steele. Today is the launch of the first issue, the first mini issue.
Mini issue.
It's a 6-page black and whites. The plan is to have about 5 of those mini issues and then compile them all into one first issue. And that'll be, well, fingers crossed. Hopefully, the plan is for that to be full color as well. So big things to come.
Cool. So Penny Steele, like she's like based on coins, right?
Yeah, well, the inspiration for the character came from Big Nick, actually. Expired Comics is Big Nick.
Big Nick.
See right here.
Big Nick.
I love the character so much, I wear the shirt. And I'd actually done a little bit of fan artwork last year. For issue #2, they had a fan art submission contest. You see right there.
I know where that was taken from.
The Avengers cover.
Right, yes.
Yeah, the Hawkeye and Ant-Man cover, yeah, and I love that image so much. And I thought, what if I reversed it and I made, instead of a regular sized Ant-Man or a regular sized Hawkeye and a tiny Ant-Man on an arrowhead, instead have a giant Big Nick and have an improvised bow and arrow with a broken telephone pole with Oric riding on the crossbeam, and well, there's the picture. I think it turned out great.
Are we going to have Penny Steele team up with Big Nick at any time?
Actually, yeah. Funny you should mention that. In June, the 3rd issue of Big Nick comes out, and there's actually going to be some cameos from a whole bunch of different CCBA characters. Penny Steele is one of the cameos that's going to be in there. As Big Nick is fighting the Scorched King, that's what it is, yes. The Scorched King is going to be the villain in issue 3 of Big Nick. He's going to have a lot of minions all across Canada fighting different heroes. So you're going to see Aurora Man, Oric of the Great White North, Space Pig Hamadeus. I guess he's visiting Earth for this one adventure. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. A new character by Colin Work called Blackthorn. So yeah, there's going to be that crossover with Penny Steele in Big Nick #3. There is going to be a few other CCBA crossovers, but I don't think Penny's going to be in the big CCBA crossover involving.
Now, what's Penny's deal, Miss Attitude Girl? Like she has superpowers?
She is just a normal girl to start, and in this issue, it's just sort of the introduction to the character of Penny, and also her, I guess you'd call it her opposite number or nemesis.
Rival?
Her rival, yeah.
Arch rival?
Arch rival, yeah.
Dr. Evil?
Perhaps. That's the Hammer. And See him right there. He's a
The hammer.
handsome looking Jim.
It's a Hamilton thingy.
Yeah, sort of a play on that. Yeah. So basically, after her little fight over the couple of cents there, she storms off, and as she's leaving, this guy walking up behind the counter behind her starts to hold up the clerk, a robbery, and I won't spoil it, of course. But Penny, she makes a decision. Even though she doesn't see eye to eye with this clerk, she does make the decision to do the right thing. And exactly what that right thing is, well, you'll have to pick up the issue and find out. She's kind of creative with
Oh my.
with her problem solving.
Yeah, does this have anything to do with this controversial issue I mentioned?
That's the cold meat variant cover.
That does not look like she's a hero, does it? It looks like she's a masochistic monster. I mean, the guy is upside down, right, hanging there, and she's just like, that's
some bondage and torture, I suppose.
Exactly. It's like,
Well, there's a.
How many shades of gray on this one?
For that sort of thing. I mean, the bondage comics, all the way back to the 40s and 50s.
But
that
normally,
was a big part of what the comics code.
Sure, but you're supposed to put the heroes in these kind of positions, right? Not the villains.
Well, actually, the explanation for this cover is again Sharon, the artist for Penny Steele,
Monster,
and for she's also the artist for Little Aurora Man, The Adventures of Little Aurora Man, which is written by Dan Collins, and
it's got little Dr. Stevil in it.
There's actually there's a cameo by you in there.
I wasn't so little; they made me a little fat porker, dude, big bully. Stevil.
You haven't lost the baby fat there yet.
I did.
No, but she's got this great idea. It's very similar to, you remember Marvel Zombies from about 10, 15 years ago?
Oh, that was awesome.
It was
That's
a great
great
series where all the heroes were zombified.
And then they went stupid with that.
Sharon, I don't know about the later series, but I know that first one, it was Robert Kirkland. It was really, really good. Sharon had this idea to do something similar to that with all of the CCVA heroes. So that's why you're seeing there is zombie Penny attacking a zombie hammer. The reason for that particular image was because part of the story with Penny is that, well, I mean, her superpower essentially is she wears this suit and she has what could be called the Thunder Punch, I suppose. She has
Thunder Punch.
This superpowered punch. She's also eventually going to have the ability to shoot blast as well from those gauntlets called copper shots.
Was she steal this costume or what?
No, it's actually kind of it's kind of like a legacy thing where her grandparents have sort of bestowed it upon her, unbeknownst to her. She sort of discovers it accidentally, and then she just sort of takes up the mantle and decides she's going to do some good with this.
You're one of the writers and co-creators of Penny Steele, Hamilton's own superhero.
The copper top hero with the heart of gold.
Right. So she's gonna be teaming up with the Dime or Dime Store Bandit.
Well, whether or not there's any team ups with something like Big Nick, well, like I say, there is the cameo in Big Nick 3. Whether or not they have an actual team up later on, hopefully we'll see something like that. There is going to be some other. My plans are going to include some other coin themed characters.
The Looney. The Canadian Loon.
I won't give it away, but
or twins, the Toonies.
Twin polar bears, maybe. Yeah.
Twin polar bears. Oh, I like that. The Toonie brothers.
One of the things when I was a kid, my dad had a coin collection.
How about Timbit?
He had a coin collection, so I used to go through these pages and pages of coins that he had, these little things, and I would just love looking at them. So when Big Nick came out, it was kind of like seeing these coins turned into actual superheroes.
The quartermaster.
That's you're pretty close to one of my ideas there.
Mr. Moneybags.
Actually, I've got a whole bunch lined up, and they're going to take place through time. So you're going to see some flashback issues and future issues of Penny Steele that are going to flash back to her grandparents and some of the work that they did.
Grandparents. So what? The grandparents were called, dollars and cents.
No, actually, they didn't have. Actually, what I want to do is actually sort of call back to the Canadian Whites comic books. That's a big part of why I did Penny Steele was to shine a light on these comics from the 40s that a lot of people don't know about. Canadian Whites, Bell Features particularly had a lot of great comics,
Now they're called the Canadian whites not because they're racist, but because they had no color in it.
Because they were broke at the time and they couldn't afford to color the comics. Yeah, it was a budgetary thing, and that's obviously the main reason why my comics black and white is because budget concerns. It costs money to color comics, but I also did want to do sort of a call back to those comics and sort of just harken back to those simpler times when they were just black and white comics, like you find in the newspaper, I suppose.
Well, if I did comic book, it would be black and white because I can't color. I can't keep in the lines. The big crayons, it just doesn't work.
But Sharon's done a great job coloring that cover. And there is a couple of color pages in there towards the back. There's
like this cute little adorable picture of Penny Steele.
That's Mark DeChatelet,
the same girl that's beating up on this guy.
Big Nick, yeah.
She watched 100 Shades of Grey or something. And
actually, it was Rocky was the inspiration for that.
Adrian!
It's supposed to be, the hammer is supposed to be the slab of meat, and then Rocky, Penny is doing her best Rocky impression there.
Aquaman is saying hi.
Ooh,
He's kind of Aquaman, quick.
We're talking about
You interrupted the video, so you might as well get in here. Go. People are watching.
Say hi.
Sorry, I didn't
That's right.
mean to interrupt.
Lower.
For the King of Atlantis,
He's got
we've
face
always
for
got
radio.
time.
Says Aquaman. He's going to show his abs later.
So I hear you talk to fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's with that?
I don't know.
So you get walk around with a little goldfish and just have it attack people?
I will a surfboard. I'm bringing a surfboard next time.
And what's that going to do with the fish?
Nothing.
Because I tried the shark with the laser thing. I really did. I attached it to my car. But, after a few days, the seagulls and stuff were pecking at it. It was not good.
This is why I don't interrupt him when he's doing his thing.
Thanks, Arthur. I know your name.
Sorry, guys.
See how it went?
Kind of like a fish out of water there. So, see, that's why I said, that's why we got someone guarding the camera. But no one...
But we didn't have anybody guarding us.
That's right, I know. I saw him sitting there waving. It's like, yes, I know. I like him. I want to say hi, but,
Just give him the guns.
That's right, I know, right? But then people go, what are you doing that for? They think I'm... Regardless, I like this.
Psyching him out. Oh yeah, this is my voodoo doll.
Voodoo doll. I can see a fight happening here.
I've got some ideas. I know you've expressed interest in wanting to meet Penny Steele firsthand.
So she's just a girl. I mean, like, seriously, I'd just be like, hey, go make me a sandwich.
I don't think that would end very well for you.
Exactly. Well, see, it's people like the doctor here that make comics interesting.
Yeah, well...
Unless you get the PC group of villains going, hey, man, we can't say that. We're going to kill them, but we just can't call them what they are, okay?
Well, I mean, there's certainly... you want to talk about PC, but there's certain things that...
On PC, you're not allowed to, in movies, you can't hurt children or puppies.
Even in the world of cosplay, I think, there's certain lines that even villains wouldn't cross. Would you agree?
I'm a bad guy. I'm supposed to be hated. What?
Yes, but I mean, you wouldn't cross. There's certain lines that you wouldn't cross, right?
Well,
I think what's that? Cosplay is not consent. So as we all know,
it is consent. You can touch the doctor anytime you want. When you see me, just come over and pat me on the butt.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
So
Consent's right here. And the exception to that rule. Want to see my sexy butt? I'll stand up and show you. Ooh.
He's asking for it, folks.
It was.
Literally asking for it.
So how can we get a hold of Penny Steele?
Well, at the moment, I'm selling them through the table. Actually, I did drop off a few copies at Big B, Niagara Falls yesterday. So just about a handful of copies. So if anybody in the Niagara region, or if you're in the Niagara region, stop by Big B on Lundy's Lane and ask for Penny Steele.
What about online? Do you have any page for Penny Steele?
That's the plan. Hopefully within the next week or two, I'm going to have some sort of online portal set up so that purchases can actually be made. I was focusing so much on the comic book, I forgot about how it's going to get into people's hands.
Well, I've seen this. You've been advertising for a while. I just want to see what happens. I mean, I got your little your little issue where she has a problem with the pennies, and then the dude goes up, and then we don't know what happens.
Right, that was the 4-page preview. So
right.
So there was you got 4 pages out of the 6. This is the full 6-page full chapter. So those last 2 pages are pretty critical, and they're going to show you what happens next. and how Penny reacts to that. I think the last thing you would have seen, I think, was the maple syrup. It was one of the last panels on that 4th page. And that maple syrup was Major Snow maple syrup, which is sort of a gag on the Captain Canuck maple syrup that you do often see in places. And Major Snow is a character from North, which is this title here. It's a CCBA title.
Oh yes, I've got the issue. It's quite nice.
Novel comics by Scott Sawyer.
Scott Sawyer, it's a great job.
He's originally from Sudbury.
I'm sorry.
Where Big Nick is from as well. But North, it's a great book, team book. I loved it the second I started reading it, and I wanted to immediately incorporate.
He does a great job. He puts them up in a dire situation from the beginning, and then they go into little flashbacks about each character before they.
You can call that a dire situation. That is one of those things that is like I've woken up from nightmares because I hate heights. So the idea of
they're hanging from the CN Tower, holding each other's hand
from the pod, dangling like a daisy chain. Yeah, it's a pretty intense first issue, and I definitely recommend it. Issue 2 and 3 are out, and hopefully issue 4 will be out soon.
I know, way to go, great job,
Scott Sawyer. Check him out.
Scott, yeah.
That's what I'm all about. I'm pushing Penny, but you're going to find that as you read Penny Steele, you're going to see references to the modern Canadian Comic Book Alliance, the characters there. There's going to be references to the Canadian Whites characters from the 40s. And there's also little things in there like Canadian Tire, or just things like Canadian culture. There's actually a Canadian Tire gag on the first page. And I've put a couple of subtle Canadian Tire references in some of the later chapters as well. So keep an eye out for those. Nothing too obvious. It's not like Save Like Santa, or Give Like Santa, Save Like Scrooge, I wish. But some Canadian Tire references, things, little things, just to remind you that it's a Canadian comic book and it's taking place in Canada. And
cool.
By Canadians, for Canadians, about Canadians.
Just out of curiosity, off topic here, have you gotten a chapter house with Penny Steele, or so she can fight, that pitiful lizard guy?
Funny enough, that cover is actually an homage to one of the variant covers for Captain Canuck #1 that came out last year. It was by Andrew Thomas and Donovan. I can see the name. I don't know how to spell it.
That guy, Donovan.
Donovan Yakiak. Maybe it's Yashik. Sorry, Donovan.
Donovan Yashik. This sounds like a Bosnian name.
Or Polish, I think. Something, yeah.
Polski, tak, można być. Ja nie wiem. I'm just making this stuff up. Yeah.
I'll check with Donovan. But yeah, he's the author of Space Pick Amadeus, and he also does a lot of colors. He does colors on covers, and some covers by Andrew Thomas. And they did this great gender-bent Captain Canuck cover, and I love that pose so much that they drawn that I adopted that for the first.
Yes, but the gender-bent Captain Canucker's got a little window right
She's
there.
a bit more va-va-voom, yeah.
Like Power Girl.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. It does she does that version does remind me a little bit of Power Girl.
Excellent.
All right.
So, as you see, little Stevil is in your universe.
Yes. In the
Little Aurora Man.
the Camp Northern Lights corner of the universe. Of
So
the
we
CCBA
exist.
universe. Yes, definitely. And like I say, I've got some ideas for getting Penny Steele to meet up with Dr. Steevil. A little Stevil.
Sure, if you just want
Twist.
dialogue, come talk to me. I mean, she's already going to go making me sandwiches and stuff. I can play that role
Oh yeah,
from the 60s.
I've got
It's normal,
well, yeah, that's right. You are from the '60s. Yeah.
right?
I've actually got a character that I plan on introducing in one of those '60s flashbacks as well. I'm not gonna give too much away there, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of different characters. this is going to be a pantheon of heroes that I think is going to expand very quickly. I've got tons of ideas, as many ideas as there are coins, really. So, and
Wow.
quite a few of them. So,
Hey, Penny, you're irrelevant. Pennies are gone.
but we still
That went
price
nowhere.
things like to the penny. You know, like we don't use pennies. We round up or down when we're using cash, but we still use the penny increment when we pay by debit. Which is
Yeah, I know. This is new in Canada, but they've been doing that in Europe
Yeah.
for a while with the euro. euro. Except for UK.
I don't think they know
left.
what that is in the UK. And they don't care to know.
Actually, they never had the euro. They kept the pound the entire time.
Makes
They
you
were
almost
smart.
wonder if maybe they never fully committed because maybe they always had it in the back of their mind that they were going to Brexit. Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, it's a government that doesn't want to be pushed around by the union. I know about this evil stuff because we wanted to get everybody together and control them. But then my boys pushed too far.
Well, they were the British Empire, right? There, once upon a time, there was
Andrea.
the sun never set on the British Empire.
I know. Now they're just giving it all back. We don't
Playing
want you.
second fiddle to the European Union would probably be maybe a little galling to.
Prefer to be in the British
Brits.
Empire because thank you, Justin.
Well, I think we call it the Commonwealth now.
Commonwealth. Well, still.
Empire sounds a little.
Dun, 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 dun.
They don't even call it the Empire anymore. Now it's the First Order, right? So.
First Order. First Order. Right.
So
Really, what do you think about that little side trip? I mean, they're trying to escape, and then Star Wars, and they go to that little
Last
planet.
Jedi.
How come everyone didn't just escape and go to that planet? They would have been fine. Hello, that's how it should have ended. Maybe tell Poe Dameron about the plan, and then maybe he wouldn't have gotten everyone killed. Maybe if you trusted your guy. Just saying.
Well, how many times have you seen it?
Once.
Once, really? I only saw it once too. But you've gotten like all the details. You remember them all.
No, I just remember it's like, dude, if you trusted him, none of this would have happened. Because of him trying to, thinking that you guys were going to kill them all, you end up killing everyone. If you trusted him, he would have just kept there. Sure, it would have been a boring movie, right? They would have just escaped and it would have been fine. No one would have been the writer. But nope, you didn't tell him, so he sent these two people on some wild goose chase to free some animals. And
I don't know that side mission. I don't think it was entirely a failure.
really,
I think there was something to. They released the Space Forces, and
which will be captured because it's a money-making scheme.
yeah, that's a good point. Actually, yeah.
Instead of freeing the kids, let's free the animals.
Back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with the next one. I mean, you really can't say
Because they got captured, right? So you could have just cut all that part out. The movie would have been shorter, and
until we see the next chapter. We really don't know how it's going to affect or how it affects what's to come next. I think.
then he kills half the people, getting rid of a dreadnought. Really?
Yeah, well, there was quite a bloodbath there, and was it Holdo?
Hodo?
Vice Admiral Holdo.
Oh,
Holdo?
Hodor.
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 So, you see, now we're in the.
His entire time, Hodor.
I haven't watched Game of Thrones, but it's.
General, what do we do?
For
Hodor,
2 seasons running right
Hodor. No, General, we get the attacking. Hodor. Yeah, no. There's a weird crossover. Shouldn't have never happened. Notice all the bad guys in Star Wars, the new one, are white.
Well, yeah. Weren't they always?
They always were. They were British. They were
British, yeah.
So if you're evil, you got a British accent. It's quite cool. That's what I noticed before, because you can't offend Brits, so just make them bad.
But Rey has a British accent. Where do you get a British accent hanging out in a desert planet?
Do you know?
Because Luke didn't have a British accent. Although Leia kind of did in the first movie. She had that sort of. I mean, but we watched what was it the one woman show featuring Carrie Fisher, and she talked about how her accent changes.
Well, they had no underwear in
From scene to
space
scene.
either.
Yeah, they know what a weird thing too. Yeah, but she talks about
George
that
or
because she
Pervy.
was, I think, studying theater in England at the time, so she was affecting the English accent because it was, I guess, part of her training. But in other scenes, she's very much an American sounding, I suppose.
Yeah.
A bit looser with the accent. But I always, for me, it was always just, she seemed to bring on the accent when she was talking to Governor Tarkin. And it almost seemed like she was using it
To make fun of him.
to make fun of him. Yeah, she was being a bit satirical and sort of just poking fun at him.
She's
because
putting
of
a new
his-
face on for political. She gets all, British and proper. Pip, pip.
Yeah, exactly. Channeling that imperious
right,
senatorial attitude. And then when she's just hanging out with Luke and Han, they're just...
It's gutter talk, yeah.
Well, Yeah, trash compactor talk.
There you go, trash compactor talk. Yeah, you got it. Well, we're going too far. Probably won't use half this stuff because I'm incriminating myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Being a jerk.
Disney's going to come down on you hard for that.
I wish. That'll be my 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
I mean, if that, Cash Me Outside girl can get, famous. Like, really, guys? Really? She should eat a Tide Pod. Tide Pod.
Tide Pod. Oh, goodness. Yeah.
I've noticed they have, like, labels on Tide Pods now. It says, do not eat.
I thought they had those on those from the very beginning. But why is this something new? That's what the kids are into.
They're going to be voting soon. Those kids.
Yeah, well.
Just saying.
Let's hope the Tide Pods don't affect their ability to make the right choice.
This may sound terrible, but I was kind of hoping they'd be deadly. Because really, if you're going to eat one, I mean, the world is not going to miss any contribution you may make to society.
They're not deadly, but they're not good for you either. Because I hear that you can get sort of like a low-grade chemical burn.
I meant fatal.
Well,
I know it sounds cruel, but seriously, I mean, if you're going to eat it...
Well, we have the Darwin Awards for a reason, right?
Right, exactly. I have a whole list for you guys, a big plaque.
Don't even get me started on the guy with the fidget spinner who wanted to cut his hair. Attached a razor blade to a fidget spinner and tried to cut his hair. That is. I know razors are expensive, but there's got to be a better way.
No, I want to see this on YouTube, really.
I don't know if it was actually filmed, but
I mean, if it's his own idea, I really want to see it. I just do, yeah.
It just seems like you're trying to shave with a helicopter. That's all.
Well, think about it. These are the good ideas for villains in your comic.
Not a bad idea.
Just look at the idiots out there, and then you can inspire from them. Just saying. Okay. So that's Penny Steele. Beating some guy. Penny Steele, 50 Shades of Grey, special issue.
Oh, yeah, right, that Anastasia Steele thing.
Yeah.
I never read the books, and then I found out about that afterwards, and I was like, oh. But
I've never really read it or watched the movie, but they say if he didn't have abs or wasn't rich, it would be just like a trailer park kidnapping or something.
Yeah, well, money changes everything. So.
Really? So if I had money, I can, I won't need my chloroform anymore?
Well, good
for
looks
date
go
night?
a long way, too. So you wouldn't need chloroform.
But I do for safety.
I'm sure the Frau Fabissinas are falling at your feet.
Yeah. Quite loud sometimes, though. Early in the morning. Yeah.
Release the clones, yeah.
Yeah. Have to wear earplugs on, sex night. Bit too loud. Breaking the eardrums.
Hey, now I need earplugs.
Image in your head.
Yes, indeed.
My mini-me.
You just can't keep playing with his little...